So this is very important. He says that a person must learn to treat all living entities correctly, build the right relationships. Until we learn to do this, our practice will not lead to success. It will be more or less vicious and will lead as to the opposite results. So this is the study that we must deal with. We learn to respect everyone, but do not mechanically respect. So here the problem with Daksha, we will see there are 4 degrees of such treatment which are mentioned, and Daksha comes in the 4th category. And he says that this is and how to learn to respect everyone but do not mechanical respect, because again the trouble is that when we hear that everyone need to be respected, we will now respect. Okay, they said respect, will respect. No, respect include to see the level of living entities and to understand what is needed and learn how to treat them correctly. So we will try to understand this, like, no, and Kapil Dev explains also how we should do this and what is the perfection. He says that bhakti is the highest state of consciousness, the development of consciousness. And this means that bhakti is the result of a long evolution when consciousness finally reaches its perfection. Now, very important, we will try to understand this one point which makes, because bhakti is not something you practice yoga 2 hours in a day, 4 hours in a day. But bhakti is not like that. Bhakti is a 24 hours practice. That is how we should understand. He says bhakti is the development of internal spiritual beauty. That is what is internal spiritual beauty? When consciousness becomes fully developed and revealed, and this is called bhakti or love. Now uh, people who are engaged in kriya yoga, or people engaged in the yoga of we say Iyengar, he is engaging, they have ashtanga yoga, asanas. Now, what is the main difference? The difference lies in one thing, like very important difference. You have to practice maybe 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, and then you will say you can achieve perfection. But bhakti yoga need to be practiced 24 hours a day. That is the most important. 24 hours a day we must practice bhakti yoga, and Kapil Dev already said that Madguda Shruti Matrena Mai Sarva Guhashayam Mai Gatir Avichinnam Yata Gangam Muda. He says that as soon as a person hears at least a little bit, he describes this state of fully disclosed consciousness. Madguna Shruti Matrena means, now very important point. It is worth a person to hear something about the qualities of Krishna. And he says Madguna Shruti Matrena. And he says, me who is in the heart of every living creature, hidden there in the cave of this heart, immediately the mind of such person has reached the perfection. It is worth hearing a hint of Krishna's qualities. The mind of such a person immediately rushes to his source, just as Ganga constantly flows, and nothing can interfere. Now we say, but it is not happening to me. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya udharatam ahaituki avyavetaha ye bhaktim purushottame. He says that this bhakti is in relation to Purushottama. Was very much connected to why Daksha is not, he is actually devotee of Vishnu only. But unfortunately, he is not making any advancement. He just stuck up there. So why Daksha is stuck up in spite of practicing bhakti? That is should be our important question. So when I want, like, bhakti cannot be a pension. That means we cannot become an honorary pension of bhakti. Because I did bhakti, I should get something in it. No, bhakti cannot have a vacation. We cannot practice bhakti 11 months a year and for 1 month we will go for some vacation. No, it's actually 12 months. It is completely practice. Bhakti is not a way of life. Sorry, Bhakti is a way of life. It is a vision of the world. Please try to understand this point. I am trying to again think about it. Bhakti is a way of life. It is a vision of world. It is not some practice. The whole life is like that. That means 24 by 7 I am a bhakta only. I cannot practice, okay, few hours in a day I'm practicing bhakti. No, you are changing the way you are looking at the world. It is an understanding of it, and we must always return to this. Like bhakti is something that covers all spheres of our life. Say now, morning when I wake up, I start my chanting, and then I hear Bhagavatam. Then I do some service to the deities. Then I go work because I want to get some money to serve Krishna. And then evening I come, I hear and do some hearing, reading, chanting for Krishna. And then why I am taking rest? Because again I want to get, I will become very energetic to continue serving Krishna. So 24 by 7 we are, and the way we look at the world is also like that. That is very, bhakti is something that covers all spheres of our lives. Say in other religion, people say, yes, this is my religion, this is my work, this is my science, this is my wife, this is my dog, this is my car. And we have bhakti religion. We have but this is actually holistic lifestyle, what we are doing it. That's why this shloka is very important. Holistic, it is completed with all the ensuring consequences. And like people in other yoga system, and people say, okay, yes, it is better if you are vegetarian. But you cannot be a vegetarian. Well, say if you really want, then you can be. So that's what they say. You should be vegetarian. Now we have not only here, we are not only vegetarians, but we are not allowed to take chocolate also. Now, what can be more vegetarian than chocolate? Chocolate is vegetarian, right? Then why we should not take chocolate? Because the requirements are much higher. It works with consciousness. So it's not just whether we are vegetarian or not. What we are working with our consciousness. So that's the main difference. And like here, ahaituka avyavahita, like the first sign of ahaituka means there is no hetu, there is no reason, no self-interest. That is clear. I don't want anything from this. But avyavahita means that there is no obstacle in the path. And this is a very important thing. Why the obstacle came for Daksha? Why in our practice also we are having this obstacle? Actually, Daksha is not making progress, and for many years, devotees, I also feel, practicing for many years, but we don't see the progress so fast. Why it is happening? So why Daksha, in spite of doing such yajnas, and he's completely dedicated to the mission of Lord, and he is given the in charge of creating all the progeny of the world. So whatever the world it is, we have to give the credit to Daksha only. He created the population, and all the species of lives are coming from Daksha. He is doing so much service for the Lord, but he's not making progress in terms of there are obstacle in his progress. Materially is progressing, is Daksha only, but spiritually is not making. Is come. The reason is very important to understand, because our practice of bhakti is constantly pushing. It is having pausing because of obstacles. We encounter some dams or some things that no makes us bhakti very boring. And this dam or obstacles insights, these are actually offenses. And why this happens, we will try to understand. Because like I'm one side I'm putting, I'm letting fire, another side we may think, oh, I am not doing any offenses. No. we, otherwise we will immediately make progress. Or one time chanting, we will be just one time hearing, Madgunashruti matrena. Just once time you hear about Krishna, mind should automatically flow towards Krishna. But mind is not flowing. Why? Because we are not the offensive attitude which we are having. We will try to just I'll try to discuss on this. This is very important. Uh, we are putting fire also and water also, but water prevents the fire, right? Now, when we practice bhakti, since at the same time we commit insults, this is a very subtle thing what are explained here and why Daksha is having a problem. You may said, okay, one time he did, but what about other time? Now, how to practice bhakti and need to avoid these interferences. This is also to be very important to understand. Now, uh, what makes this insults? Why Daksha insulted? And what makes us not show respect to other living entities? What is the root of this? Now, the root of this is very important to know that this is first is avidya asmita. This asmita is the attachment to the body, the bodily concept. So this is where Patanjali Muni also says that avidya asmita. Now, when we falsely identify with a piece of matter, the false identification with the body, when I identify myself with body, so where does the anger come and all this envy, everything comes here. We become envy appears in other living towards other living beings, hostility. And how does it appear? Because I am the body, right? So what do I need? I need to enjoy the body. And then there will be uh, interferences if I want to enjoy. And then I'll become envious to them. So this is actually what happened. So Daksha was strongly identifying with the body. So if somebody interferes, then something is trying to stop me, then accordingly envy appears, hostility to other living beings. While they are far away, it do not interfere for the. If they are very far, not a problem. But if they are coming closer, then it is a problem. This is what happened. It is said that more I love all the humanity as a whole, the more I hate everyone separately. This is a famous saying like that. So what happens if I identify myself with body? Inevitably, I would like this understanding to be this definitely happens. As long as we identify ourselves with the body, we inevitably appear some kind of hostility, envy, some kind of anger in relation with others. This is compulsory. So, see, bhakti is transcendental, but we are identifying with the body. So, we are doing bhakti also and identifying with the body also. That's why the problem comes. If just do bhakti, we are making progress. But parallelly, we identify with ourselves body, and because we identify with the body, we want to enjoy the body, and then hostility comes. Because what is bhakti? Bhakti means love and it is bhava. This is a mood. But that the identification with the body contradicts hatred, anger, envy, hostility. And one hand we are trying to lit fire, and other side this is we are putting water also. And this is the problem. Now we will try to understand. There are four things what Kapil Dev speaks, and what are the things why we don't feel God in the heart, why we don't feel His presence in our life, why we don't feel something. People feel sometimes abandoned. So why do we sometimes feel that no one hears our prayers? So because actually Krishna says, I am in heart of every living entity. And this is very important. It is said that if human heart is defiled, then there is no God in it. At least we don't feel that. Of course, Paramatma is there, but there are obstacles, and we need to clearly understand. Because what happens now? begins to resist the process by which I want to destroy all these anarthas. And now we need to learn how to put end to hostility. We may think, oh, I am not hostile to anyone. No, if you clearly see this, we will try to discuss how, why. See, if we are not hostile, then we would have very fast made advancement. The point we are not making advancement very fast means there is hostilities. Now, how to change this hostility to other living beings to something that will be accepted by God? Otherwise, we would have already had love. When I have love, there is no problem only. So the point love is not there means we are having this hostile and mood. So just few more points I wanted to share. Now the recipe that people will say, okay, give me some formula, I will apply. Actually, bhakti is not formula. It's a change in our way we are looking. And this is a devotee must look at other living beings as spiritual sparks and practice as a to the Supreme Lord. Now, this is I have to learn like a sadhana to see connection of other living beings with Krishna. I should not just look at them and see as a competitors in them with my pleasure. I should not see rivals in them. I must see in them the particle of the Supreme Lord, which the Lord sent to me to my life so that I learn something. And this is my sadhana. So, what is the first sadhana? See them as pleasure. I have to learn to see. In a sense, we can learn to see it. It all depends on how I want to see. Like any identification denotes a change in our vision of the world. If we go to, say, we study biology, just you go to the biological lab, you see just some simple things. But once you learn proper biology, then you start seeing things in a different way. You see the plants in a different way because you understand their connection and how they are growing. So, same thing, what is practice of sadhana bhakti is when there are no people, like we are seeing everybody in relation to God. That means 24 hours a day. When I try to see this world, how it is connected to God, see all the events of our life, how it is connected. This is actually very important. When it comes to when I come to temple, I must be very clearly understand that I must learn to see the world in a certain way. I see the world in this way related to God, then I naturally will behave correctly in relation. Now we will come to this, the most important thing, what Kapila is explaining, which we will see here in a practical way. He says the 4 degrees of manifestation of anger or envy in our heart in relation to other living beings. And not only the 4 degrees of manifestation of anger and envy, but also the 4 results of manifestation of this anger and envy. So he explained total 4 manifestations and 4 results. And now the 4 degrees of manifestation of anger and envy are called avagnya, upeksha, and dusha and ninda. It says that avagnya, this is very important. This many of will be doing also if you clearly observe very seriously. Otherwise, we would have made so much progress. Why we can say that we are doing it? There are 4 degrees of as severity, seriousness, and external manifestation of this internal tendency. So avijna literally means arrogance. Some arrogance attitude towards other people. Now you see the habit of looking down on others, and this is very, very deep inside. It's a very nice habit that is there. Like what is that? We look at others, and immediately what we start to do, we start comparing, and the comparison is always for whose benefit? Always in my favor only. Because when we start comparing, what we feel, I am better. It remains only to understand that, oh, I am better. The fact that I am better, now we just need to understand what exactly. Like, the more beautiful I am, smarter my light, like we try to focus ourselves. The whole truth is, actually, I am very nice person. Now, say when I'm going in the metro train or passing by and I see so many people, I always have this comparison and we feel, oh, we are devotees. They are not devotees. So this is called avagnya. This is the fourth insult to the holy name. That what does it means? Look at the spiritual teacher as an ordinary, so third offense, an ordinary person. This is literally means that, oh, we all at first beg to our level and then below. We all roll them to us, an ordinary person. Even it happens to spiritual master, and then it's no longer. It's shortcomings in them. That's what we see. The when we start seeing the mistakes in others. Why we are finding mistakes in others? Why we can see mistakes in others? Because of this reason, our and this is a very clever, it's a sorry, very clear way, and this is a most subtle form of violence to other beings. We need to be absolutely sober in this. What actually, this is actually causing pain to other living beings, and Krishna says, I don't like this. Therefore, he speaks in this here. Aham sarvasya prabho mattas sarvam pravartate. No? Aham sarveshu bhuteshu. So all these things, I am always in the heart of all living entities. When Krishna says that, he recognizes, oh, you are trying to minimize this person, Krishna don't like it. So when a person neglects other living beings, he looks at them with neglect, with some contempt. Then Krishna don't like it. And another symptom of avijna is, uh, it looks like light and harmless contempt, but the result is, why the result is that attitude Krishna don't like. He will say that, because it is very important for us. The attitude itself is important so that we understand well. The result is very important. So if you don't have, like, there is a very famous story in Vrindavan. This you might have heard also. Like, there was a Bengali elderly man. He was born in a very aristocratic family of a Brahmana, and he know the scriptures well. He was very rich. When he grew up, he moved away, and he raised his family, dedicated everything, and devoted his life. And then he came to Vraja. He started serving, but somehow he always felt that I am better than others. And he lived also very, in terms of caste, in terms of wealth, in terms of his good habits, his very clean life, he knows scriptures, he's very righteous. And so there was some sense that I am better. And he lived in a very dignified life also. And then one time he decided, okay, I'll leave everything, and he came to Vrindavan to settle. And he goes to Radhakund. He heard a great saint is there at Radhakund in Braja, and he goes for initiation. And he says that, okay, he says, I don't think you are fit for Diksha now. And under various pretexts, the Babaji was not giving him initiation only. And then he was every day coming and asking, and then what happens is, he says, okay, because that time there's no recommendations from the presidents of the temple, so Babaji could immediately deny it. Now he says, okay, come to me next week. I'll give you 1 week time, and I will give you an important service. He says, bring someone or something that in all respects below you, and in all respects, but keep in mind that if you bring or bring anything to me, if surpasses you in something, then I'll not accept your dedication. I'll not give you initiation. So just bring one item or anything which is which you are better than that in all respects. Then this person thought, the devotee thought, oh, it's simple at least, and he gave him 1 week time. And then he went to some streets of Vrindavan where he saw the people from lower caste. Then he thought, okay, let me take one of them. Then he thought, oh, wait a minute. This person, he is actually is even though he is low born, but he is in Vrindavan. He's born in Raja. And I am born in somewhere in Calcutta or some Bengal, someplace. And he's born only in Vrindavan. He's Brajavasi. That means he's superior to me. Then he thought, okay, let me go to these scavengers who collect the dust from the dustbin and all these cleanings and all. Then he thought, oh, but wait a minute. These people are whole life they are cleaning Vrindavan. So whole life they are getting the dust, breathing the dust of Vrindavan. They are better than me. Then he saw a cow. He said, okay, let me take a cow. Then no, cow is better than me because the cow she eats uncomplicated grass and gives milk and food which is absolutely helpful. Then he thought maybe dog is better. Then he saw no, even dog has some better qualities. So almost 1 week went. He thought a tree. He said tree is more patient than me and more compassionate than me. And then he did not find anyone till the week. And then on the day he has to meet, that day he went to clear his stomach. Then he saw some worms in the stool. Then he thought, oh, maybe I can take these worms. Then he started thinking about it. He said that, but wait a minute. When I eat something, I convert everything into stool. But this worm eats something, it converts into manure. And no, it's this worm is better because the fertile soil will appear because of these worms. So they are better. So he didn't find anyone, and he goes to his guru and said, no, actually, I didn't find anyone better than me. And this is actually avagnya. That means we are trying to see the world in a different way. And then he goes to his guru and says, I didn't find anyone. His guru said, okay, now you are fit for initiation. Because this is also violence. From the thinnest form of violence. It don't look like violence. So this is Krishna telling if you are worshipping deity, you should not have any violence. Vidambana means it is it's a proper body of worship. So we should show this. We should not have pretense actually. So and this is one form of violence. So we see here Daksha, he is always having this comparison mentality. So no progress. I am speaking because I want to practice it. So this is the best way to learn is to speak, to tell others where the fault is there. So this actually happens in the heart of every living beings. We do not worship God, but we should we want to worship God. That means we have to see the Lord in everybody's heart. That's what Kapila is telling, especially in more traditional cultures where some religiosity is a norm or social behavior or social recognition. A person begins to worship God only when others can evaluate this. This is actually the first thing. And when people they want a name on the donations which they give to temple. This is also that type of worship only. Means people want recognition and all these things. They want to compare, say I'm better than you. That's why they want their name on the board. Say I did better job than you. Say that's why that people who do this are uh, flaunted by their service, and in general they don't understand anything. So this is the first point. And now we will see the other things also. So this type of worship is hypocritical practice, of course. So it is this is another food for arrogance, we can say. If I do some big thing, my name is there on my name is announced, then I become more arrogant. A person becomes more hypocritic and he feels, oh, I am better. And more external begins to the external services. And this is an obstacle what Krishna is trying to teach. So when Daksha is doing something big, he wanted to come to that position, and Krishna don't like it. He says, no, no. And everybody feels, all religious people, they feel like that. And now the second one. So he says, anyone who worships the deity in temple but does not know that the Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma is in the heart of every living being, he is in ignorance and like a person who pours the sacrificial no, uh, ghee into ashes. Now, here the word hitvat is given actually. Like no, here it is said that this is indifference, neglect, unwillingness to communicate. This is another problem. This is another more serious degree of manifestation. So first was just comparison. But second degree of manifestation of anger or envy is in relation to other people. That means it's more personal. That was in general. So when we do not want to have anything common with that person, I don't want to be with you. Just no, I don't go that I don't go to that person. We turn away from them. So very often people uh, in this way they build their attitude towards others and they watch slightly down on others and does not prevent us from communicating. So we say, okay, I don't want to do anything. And this, I also have some people whom I don't want to deal with them anyway. So we can look down, and in general, it's quite normal to communicate with people. So, but behind our backs,
Alert from low battery.
so this is the most difficult thing. This is actually what I wanted to practice, so that's why I'm trying to speak on this. We can look down, and in general it's quite normal to communicate with people, and but we don't this type of communication we don't want to have. There is no normal friendly external relationship only, and it does not prevent us from communicating a normal good way, but it does not turn out a little like what happens is uh, sometimes for the namesake we communicate, sometimes we don't communicate only. That is very dangerous. And we try to build relationship with them. If he comes, I'll just get out from this place. And we also feel, let them live somewhere, let them only do, but they should not touch me. Let them be far away from me, I will not touch them either. So I am a well-mannered person, no problem. Let them exist there. There are no other problems. And Kapila says that these are really problem because this is a greater degree of manifestation of hostility. So this is the second thing. And there are two more things which we'll discuss tomorrow because I have to complete some portion of our purport reading also because there are some nice points here. So we discussed two things. One is just comparison. Another is I have some people whom I don't want to do anything with them. These are the second degree of manifestation. Third and fourth is also there with me. We will discuss it tomorrow. Any questions on this till now? Yes, bro.
Dhanwad Pranam Prabhuji. Very nice, discourse on interaction with others. I personally feel that those who are kind of uh, like Madhyam Adhikaris, we deal with other people in that kind of Prema Maitri Karuna Upeksha Karo, this Madhyama. So if I deal with people in that manner, is it still, not not in par with the requirement of developing the pure bhakti. For example, I meet neutral people in my life. I went to the bank today, and I met the bank teller there, and we were talking like that. At the end, I gave him a book, a small Prabhupada book, yoga, small SP book like that. So if I interact with people who are neutral, who are not my enemies, or I'm not envious of them or like that, but there are people whom they do not like me, and they avoid my company. Some of you are even relatives. So it's a very kind of very intricate kind of interaction which we come across with other people. Although I'm chanting and I'm doing preaching and all these kind of things, I always feel that I'm not at the level like that. So, so my just question is that how do I do this? Do I kind of uh, become completely surrendered to some bhakta, and 24/7 I keep serving like that? Is that the solution, or what should I do? That's what it's a question,
Actually,
Prabhu.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Upeksha, we say
Hmm.
Prema, Maitri, Kripa. So that three are
Yeah.
very easy. Like you have Prema for superiors and Lord, and Maitri with
Hmm.
equals, and Kripa to the innocent. When it comes to Upeksha, this is very important thing one we need to practice. See, Upeksha is a manifestation of love towards them. And what is the difference between one who focuses what we are like the what is the difference is the difference depends on what drives me. So
Hmm.
we are keeping them distance, but why we are keeping them distance? Because we understand that I cannot help this person. I treat him very well, but I cannot help him. That means any contact with him, it only causes more concern. It becomes more hostile, more angry, and he only insults the devotees even more. So in that case, I will with very great respect, reverence for him, and move away and will not interact with him and try to avoid him. But at the same time, I have a very good attitude towards him because I understand that he is also particle of God.
Hmm.
And that is actually, and if at the same time I have the hostility, the desire to stay away from a person, a, it is a substantiated hostility in that person, and that is caused by my anger, then I say, oh, everything, I do not want to have anything in common with this person. Then this is actually the focus, a manifestation of anger. And that's actually what Kapil Dev says is very important. This is not actually good for us. So when such a fool worships God, Kapila says, what is the result? He will not get anything. He will not get any benefit from it. So at the best, no benefit. So the point is that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sita Kantu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandasvana. Prabhuji, last in previous classes, we heard that anger is a manifestation. It comes from the Rajoguna. So sometimes we see that devotees also get angry and all. So is it sometimes our superior also? Is it because of the that anger is different from what it comes from passion, or how do you understand that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, see, what happens, bro? The two things are parallel going on for us. One is we are doing spiritual practice also, and we have some identification with the body also. That means we get affected by modes. So everybody is getting affected by modes. So when they get affected by modes, then they will behave in the modes only. That part we should not see. We should see that this person, whatever abilities, whatever strength, and whatever talents he has, he is trying to engage in Krishna service. So that is the most important thing for us to see that part. Okay, this person has something and he is trying to utilize in Krishna service, but he also has his conditionings, which is, and that means he is going to act according to the modes. So that part we should not look at. We should only look at he is struggling and he is trying to serve Krishna. So even if they are becoming angry, yes, of course it is affected because of passion and ignorance. that is clear only, but that part is not very important for us. What is important, say like now, if some a father is having a small child and no, the child is trying to walk, and he walks for 1 minute and he falls down. Now, father and mother, na, they don't see that no whole day is sitting. They will only encourage him for that 1 minute walking or 5 minutes of walking. Why they are encouraging? They know eventually he will walk, and that they are trying to encourage that part. Oh, you are very good, you are very good. And what is good? He's just walking for 1 2 minutes. But why they are encouraging? Because they know that is actually it should be done. So same thing, when we are dealing with any living entities, we should know that okay, he is trying to go towards Krishna. So that part only we should see. Other part we cannot see. That's what Lord Kapila is trying to teach us. He says, see the part where he is trying to do good. That will help you. Actually, that is the world way we should have. That is the vision you should have if you want to serve me. That's what Krishna is, Lord Kapila is trying to teach, and is trying to make us understand. This is the vision which is going to help us become closer to Krishna. When I'm seeing this part, that's why Bhakti is 24 by 7. That means your vision of the world is different. I see this part, and when I come to Krishna, Krishna is very happy. Oh, you are doing good. You are understanding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So for every
Prabhu,
living entity, we should have that vision. Okay, everybody is struggling. They may be coming to Krishna, if not now, some other time. But they are also part of Krishna. They are conditioned by this metal nature. I should not judge them. I should not think I am superior to them. And I should not, like the second thing which we said, okay, nothing to do with this fellow. He did so much trouble to me. Nothing to do with in his whole life. I don't want to do anything with this person. So even that type of attitude is also Krishna don't like it. He said, no, every living entity, you should have nice vision. Even though he did something very, very terribly wrong with you, still you should not have any negativity about that person, because he's a spirit soul, is connected to me. All external body and everything is done. So don't count that part.
Prabhu, one more thing, I mean, especially like temple commanders and all, they have to deal with some devotees. So unless using the anger, is it possible to manage them, Prabhu?
He should not
Manage
get
the
carried away.
devotees?
Yeah, he should not get carried away by what is happening. He should be manager. He should be very strict with the sadhana and other things. And then he should also, he knows that we have to be a little strict in some cases, but he cannot offend Vaishnavas and create them trouble, or he should not. Sometimes you have to tell them what is right, but we should not have this, because it is it's personal bhakti, it is very detrimental. He should, personal bhakti should be nice for him. He should be safe for him. So he should practice accordingly. That
And
he,
recently, when temple was sent, he asked the devotee, the temple commander, have you ever scolded any devotee in your life? So you're not fit for that. He's still there. So it's true also, I think. Yeah, if somebody is having that kind of nature, better you don't do that kind of job. Right now.
service we should take accordingly. If you take
Yeah.
service, if you are not a manager, then you'll only create trouble for us. So we should take service where it is not affecting us, and we can not carried away by that passion. We can keep our mind cool and do the service, then that is good, not a problem.
And one more thing, Broji, like new to the ashram, that sadhana, we say follow the strict sadhana.
Bro, your voice
Like
is breaking. I couldn't hear.
365 days.
Uh, we couldn't hear, bro, your question. Voice
Hare
is.
Krishna. Uh, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is it fine now? Is it clear now? Voice?
Yes, bro. Now it is
Able
better.
to hear, Prabhuji?
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, when we join ashram, Prabhuji, initial days, na, when we are new to the ashram, when we are new to Krishna consciousness, so we focus more on the, we give a lot of importance, we never miss Mangalarti, and we try to follow the schedule 365 days. So over the period of time, slowly when we grow in our nation, and some services comes, and so we'll be taking some responsibilities. So that time, most of the devotees I see,
Not able to hear, bro. We are not able to hear you. I think Proj signal. Yeah, maybe once Proj comes. So you can type your question, but we are not able to hear you. Yeah, no problem. We will continue that other two things tomorrow, but we will take something from the purports. So here, etan mrityum uddishya bhagavat apritruthi duhyatya agnya pratagdishtis tattvato vimukho bhavat. And now he says, anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent, and because of visualizing in duality will be bereft of transcendental knowledge. So now starts the cursing. First curse comes from Nandishwara. It is actually right on the part of Nandishwara in the sense that he cannot tolerate something is happening to his master. But the response he gave is not pleasing to Lord Shiva. So he should have considered that part also. Maybe he should have reacted in a different way. But he reacted, and see, such big personalities, na, if they fight, the whole repercussion comes till now. Daksh, Nandi caused then, until now, all the Brahmanas are doing the same thing what Nandi caused. Can you imagine? They are really very powerful personalities. And then comes Bhrigu and everybody. Everybody has this special powers that time because they are the creators. You write like you are making the blueprint of the creation, and then accordingly the whole universe comes. And now that is actually is what is happening. So they are really, if they did so many good things also, and that established dharma and other things, but they did some mistakes, and the mistakes we are paying. And he says that the first curse of Nandishwara was that anyone supporting Daksha was foolishly identifying himself with the body. So I told him the problem is what? Avidya and Asmita. Asmita means identification with the body. And as soon as you identify with the body, and what he says, because Daksha has no transcendental knowledge, supporting him would deprive one of transcendental knowledge. And Lord is not pleased also when you are having this type of mentality. When we identify with body, we start immediately comparing with others. So two things happens. We want to enjoy, and if somebody stops my enjoyment, I become hostile to him. Second thing is, I start comparing with others. And then Lord is saying, Kapila is very clearly saying, oh, if you have this Binnadruk, a separatist mentality, that type of worship I am not going to accept anyway. And Daksha, Nandishwara said, identified himself with body like other materialistic person, and was trying to derive all kinds of facilities in relation with the body. He had excessive attachment for the body, and in relation to the body with wife, children, home, and other such things, which are different from soul. Therefore, Nandishwara's curse was that anyone who supported Daksha would be bereft of transcendental knowledge of the soul, and thus also be derived of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyway, Lord is himself saying also, and Nandishwara's curse is actually proving that point. Graheshu Kuta Dharmeshu Sakto Gramya Sukechaya Karma Tantram Pitannute Vedavada Vipannadhi. He says, pretentiously religious householder life in which one is attached to material happiness and thus also attached to the superficial explanation of the Vedas, robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities as all in all. And this we can see typically in all the pious families. They are pretentiously religious. They do all the religious activities. But for what? Material happiness. That's why it is pretentiously. But because they are not interested in the Lord, they are interested in what? They are interested in their own happiness. They want Lord as a means, and they want Lord to assist them in their material happiness. I'll do this yajna, that puja, this charity. Ultimately, I should be happy. This is pretentious. So if I am doing, say, if I call a big MLA MP to politician to the temple and serve him, facilitate him nicely and all the things. Ultimately, for what? I want to get something, some donation for the land or this, that, some permissions. That means I am not interested in that person. I am interested in what I get from him. I am serving him that way. So that's why it is pretentious. I am not, like, say, call a big businessman and taking care of him. Taking care of him is the ulterior motive is there. No, we should be interested in the person. So when that means when I'm serving Krishna, I'm interested in person Krishna. I don't want anything in return from Krishna. Then it is not pretentious. And then that and are also attracted to the superficial explanation of Vedas, because anyway they don't use whatever is, they are superficial only, because for them Vedas are not so very important. For them what is important is material happiness, and whatever helps in Vedas, that's why they are interested. That's a superficial explanations also. They don't go very deep what exactly the message of Vedas. Vedas say no, यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयो नहीं होते. Just give sense gratification, but they don't like it. And that's why one is robbed of all intelligence. We go and tell them Bhagavad Gita. They say, oh, we'll take Bhagavad Gita. They'll keep at home. They'll do puja also and they'll give donation also. Why they want to keep? Oh, if I keep Bhagavad Gita at home, something good will happen. If I read Bhagavad Gita also, something good will happen. And I'll be materially happy. That's the purpose of their reading and everything. So ultimately, it is just very pretentious. And we'll see what Prabhupada writes. He says, persons who identify with bodily existence are attached to fruitive activities described in the Vedic literature. For example, in Vedas, it is said that one who observes the Chaturmasya vow will attain eternal happiness in the heavenly kingdom. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that this flowery language, Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham, of the Vedas, mostly attract persons who identify with body. To them, such happiness as that of the heavenly kingdom is everything. They do not know that beyond the spirit, beyond that is the spiritual kingdom or kingdom of God, and they have no knowledge that one can go there. Thus, they are bereft of transcendental knowledge. Such persons are very careful in observing the rules and regulations of household life in order to be promoted to the next life, to the moon or other heavenly planets. And it is the state here, and such persons are attached to gramya sukha, which means material happiness, without knowledge of eternal blissful spiritual life. So they're just very pretentious. Buddhya prabhadhyaya yijnat vispritatma gata pashu strikuta so akshva atitaram daksho bhashta mukochita. Daksha has accepted the body as all in all. So all the time he's identifying avidya and asmita. So that is the reason Daksha is in trouble. Since he has forgotten the Vishnupada or Vishnugati and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have a face of a goat. And these people, they really have power to curse. And when they say something, it happens also. That means they are very responsible people also. That's why they are given that power. So attain power, there can always be misused. If previously Brahmana says something very strongly, immediately happens. And now imagine if it happens now. Now if it happens like that, is very dangerous because they don't have control on themselves. So it is not given. So same thing happened to Shringi, where he had the power but not qualified to hold the power. And that's why degradation happened. And then Shringi immediately cursed. And can you imagine whom he cursed and for what reason he cursed? He is cursing the number one person of the whole world. And for what reason? Such a very silly reason. So this is actually the problem of this such powers. They are not given. That's why in Kali Yuga, Lord is very merciful. He don't give the powers very easily. Even some people will have for some time here, there, but they're not for all the time because they cannot control their mind and senses. So it's very dangerous. And they will end up in troubling others and themselves. We'll take one. Vidya buddhir avidyayam karma mayam asau jadaha samsaranva iva iha ye chamum anu sarvavamaninam. He says those who have become a dull as matter by cultivating materialistic education and intelligence are nascently involved in fruitive activities. Such men have purposely insulted Lord Shiva. May they continue in the cycle of repeated birth and death. So these people, they engage in fruitive activities, karma kanda, and obviously they will continue in the cycle of birth and death. So the three curses mentioned above are sufficient to make one as dull as stone, void of spiritual knowledge, and preoccupied with materialistic education, which is nuisance. After uttering these curses, Nandishwara then cursed the Brahmanas who continue in the cycle of birth and death because of their supporting Daksha and blaspheming Lord Shiva. So what a what a super treatment. This is actually very dangerous. They are born in a Brahmana family, but unfortunately, the birth is not actually going to help them. They are only continue to be in the cycle of birth and death. Yeah, but some Brahmanas are saved who are devotees of Krishna. And these people, they are just interested in material education, material progress. Okay, we will end here. Thank you all very much. Randra, any questions, comments? We have nice, interesting purports from Prabhupada. Maybe tomorrow we'll take, and I will discuss the two more reasons. So two we have discussed today. Two more we'll discuss. Okay, yes, Prabhu, you had some question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandaswana. Is it voice is clear, Prabhuji? No?
Yes, Prabhu. Now you can
Hare
ask.
Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji, signal issue. Sorry, Prabhuji. When we are new to the ashram, like when we new to Krishna consciousness, we give a lot of importance to sadhana, Prabhuji, especially morning sadhana, like Mangalarti to Bhagavatam class. And we see in ashram also that initially devotees are very serious and they never miss the sadhana program. Slowly they grow up in Aranation, they neglect sadhana, they more focus on services and all. So what what should we do, Prabhu? Like, is it okay, or because everything is absolute, like service, chanting, and deity worship, all are absolute. So somebody, they do a lot of services and all. They become tired and they miss the sadhana. So what do you say, Brahmi? Should be balanced, or yeah? So after when we become senior or when we grow after in RNation, it's okay, or like.
Actually, once in a while, if they are missing, that's different. But if they are missing regularly, that means they are not getting taste in their sadhana. So that's they are
Okay,
committing.
Brahmi.
That's why it is not good in that way. So they should feel inspired to chant. They should feel inspired to serve the Lord here and in Krishna Katha. They should feel that type of pleasure. So if they are not getting, then they are committing offenses, or they should work on this aspect. So then it will become easy for them to continue. Otherwise, it's a problem. So it does not, how much external we are doing, it does not matter because consciousness is not changing.
Prabhuji, in sadhana bhakti, we have to two parts. One is Vidhi Bhakti and one is Raganuga Bhakti. So in the Vidhi Bhakti time that we don't have taste, but we forcibly we attend. We try to attend all the programs and all. So this the challenge is critical thing is they may not interested in. I mean they have developed some other taste like reading more or preaching more. That kind of taste they developed. So then they spend more time, more energy there, and obviously they don't take proper rest and all. They cannot adding Manan Sadhana, but service channel doing they're doing nicely. So what do you say about this problem? What
That
is
will
your
not
opinion like?
progress. Chanting makes maximum progress.
Prabhuji?
Chanting makes, because of chanting, we make maximum progress than any other service.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji.
Neglecting chanting means there is some problem.
Okay, so chanting is okay. They're doing good chanting, but may not be attending a Mangalarti and all the programs. That's okay, Prabhuji.
Means it is person to person, bro. We cannot say for everyone. It is depends on person to person. If some people they may not be able to come for Mangalarti because of health reasons. Even some Maharaj also don't come. They are gurus also, but sometimes they will not be able to attend. So that does not uh, for them it's okay. But they should know. They should be sincere to themselves, and then they will come out. If whatever is good, Krishna will inspire them. So we cannot judge them that because they are not coming for Mangalarti, they are not advanced. So that is not actually the criteria.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Starting. So it's yeah, and okay, Prabhuji. So main yeah.
We cannot judge like that, but we sometimes because of health reasons, some gurus also they cannot come, but it does not make them less advanced. They're very
Prabhuji,
advanced. Cannot judge
when
for others.
yes, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, when I was in Juhu, I observed that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj used to come, Guru Maharaj used to come, and I saw him till the last day also, Prabhuji. Last day also, he comes and he does Mangalarti, Prabhuji. And his health is not good, and he has gone to hospital. Till last also, he was coming and doing Mangalarti, Prabhuji. I really got shocked.
Because he wanted to give example to his disciples that no, even whatever situation you do it, because he want to set that example. That
Okay,
is the
Prabhuji.
point there. So he need not come actually because of health. See what happens now if he extend like that, he will become more sick. But he is taking the chance. And Prabhupada was not coming for Mangalarti. And he's sick, he was taking rest. Prabhupada has a different schedule. So he was
Let
not.
us say if health, everything is fine, health is good, everything is good, then I think we should attend Mangalarti. We should
Yeah,
attend the program, morning program.
yeah.
So somebody, not focusing on morning program, more preaching, and it could be my passion. I don't know. Yeah, more
We
passionate
cannot
or
judge for, we will not make any judgment, but
okay. But because now probably seniors now by seeing seniors, others they're setting.
you see somebody
If
who is inspiring you, and that is example for you. Your Guru Maharaj is your example. Just follow him. Don't see others and compare. We don't know what their situation is. They may be
oh,
they may be very close to Krishna. We don't know. We'll not make any judgment. For you, your example is your Guru Maharaj, and others we don't bother. We give respect, and whoever is inspiring, you keep their association. Others we will not associate, but we are very respectful to them, and we don't make any judgment. And not that we are sentimental, blind, and now we are, oh, everybody is a pure devotee. Not like that. We have discrimination whom to associate, but we are not judgmental. Judgmental basically means we will not feel ourselves superior to them. That's the main thing. So that's what we are discussing here. Even if I am attending Mangalarti for last 20 years, every day morning I came, and this person hardly came for Mangalarti. Still, I will not feel I am superior to him. That's the main point. So Krishna tells you don't feel yourself superior to others. That is also one type of violence.
no, because wrong probably. I mean, when seniors does it's setting a wrong example for the junior. I don't know wrong or right, but yeah, they also
Yeah,
get
it's a wrong
carried. Okay,
example. But
these only not attending. Why should I attend? Yeah.
no, for you,
So
your example is your Guru Maharaj. Why
okay,
you want to take that
okay.
example? You show example of somebody whom you follow. And whichever,
And probably,
if
probably
somebody is good,
let's
that area we take example. Somebody is good in book distribution, that person we are example for book distribution. That is our sincerity, na Prabhu. Our
yes, probably.
sincerity is
And
whoever is best in
probably,
that, you follow that person.
Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada letters, many letters, it's clearly morning program, it's very important. Chanting 16 hours, telling 4 8 attend all the morning, bro. It's many letters it is there, Prabhuji. Okay.
Who is
So,
stopping
so
from,
we,
who is stopping them from not attending? Bro, now you are attending this morning class. Now is any compulsion that you should attend this morning class? It is your responsibility. You are taking responsibility to attend, right? So
okay.
everybody
And
should take responsibility for their personal practice, and they should take example from a person who is inspiring him in that area. And
why
why
I'm
I
asking that,
should set
Prabhuji?
example for other person?
Okay, why I'm asking this, please, Jen, uh, I'm trying to understand the priority because many years we are attending sadhana, doing everything, and so we compare with others. Definitely, we feel sometimes feel we are not making much advancement, even though they don't attend sadhana or externally they look they're more advanced. So then I'm thinking, okay, our priority is not good. Something has to be changed. This kind of questions comes on.
No, actually,
Yeah.
our mind is the main thing that purifies. So some people advancement is, we only see advancement based on external success and all. We will not be able to see the advancement based on the state of mind. That cannot be seen. Na mind, how will we know? You attend morning program, your mind is clean and pure, and it is helping. It is going to help you in the time of death, because your result will come like that. So every day is an exam, and result is our death. So you are every day doing it, so it is helping you. And for them, if externally, you can see so many things, but what will be the state of mind when they're leaving their body, that we will not know. So you
Okay,
come so
Prabhuji.
many classes, and you are the very very famous preacher in whole of India, across, many people know you, and you are a big celebrity. And but you are not able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So success or a failure. But you attend morning programs, you chant nicely, and you are able to remember Krishna at the time of death. You are able to focus on Krishna. That is success, right?
Nice, Prabhuji.
So for you,
Correct,
the
Prabhuji.
priority is that not how many people are looking at me, what is considered success. Success is how much mind is clean, pure, and how much you are able to remember Krishna. And we all see what is the most important things. Whatever ability you are given, are you able to 100% utilize in Krishna's service? That is the success. And he is given more abilities. Like Daksha is more competent than many of the sages. Many of the sages names also we may not know, but we know Daksha. But will it make these sages whom we don't know? But they are very advanced. We may not know the names. Daksha is more famous. So for us, the sages whom names we don't know, but they are great devotees, they are more important than Daksha also. So Daksha is materially competent. So materially competence looks like very advanced. So he is the head of all Prajapatis. Even Kardam Muni is below him. But that does not make Kardam Muni less than Daksha, right? Oh, I think Prabhuji is again lost. Okay. Uh, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? We will end here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.